I'm 73 years old, and I'm about to tell you something that might make you uncomfortable. Everything you've been told about getting older, most of it is wrong. The hardest part to accept is this. The people who were supposed to guide you, your parents, teachers, society, they either didn't know the truth or they never shared it. For more than 50 years, I believed the same story you probably believe right now. I thought I understood life. I had a solid career, a good house, respect from people around me. From the outside, it looked like I had won. But when I was 52, everything collapsed. Something happened that forced me to face a truth I had been avoiding my entire life. And what I've learned in the 21 years since then has changed how I see life, aging, and death itself. I'm not sharing this to sound wise or impressive. I'm sharing it because I'm running out of time. And there are things you need to hear before it's too late. Not for me, for you. At 52, I had what doctors calmly described as a cardiac event. That's their polite way of saying my heart nearly stopped. I was sitting in a meeting, talking about numbers and projections, when the room started spinning. The next thing I remember, I was lying in a hospital bed with tubes in my arms and my wife crying nearby. The doctor said I was lucky. Lucky. I had just come face to face with death, and they called it luck. But lying there, unable to escape my thoughts, I realized something terrifying. I hadn't really been living. I was functioning, performing, checking boxes, meeting expectations that weren't even mine. If I had died that day, what would I have left behind? A house someone else would sell, money that would eventually be spent, achievements that would be forgotten within a few years. That realization shook me, and it exposed the biggest lie most people live by. I have time. I'll do it later. When I'm more settled. When I earn more. When life slows down.
I'm 73 years old, and I'm about to say something that might make you uncomfortable. Almost everything we're taught about aging is wrong. And the harsh truth is this: the people who were supposed to prepare you for life, parents, teachers, society, either misunderstood it themselves or passed down ideas that were never true. For the first 5 decades of my life, I believed those same ideas. I thought I had life figured out. I built a career, bought a home, earned respect, checked all the right boxes. From the outside, everything looked successful. But at 52, one moment destroyed the story I had been telling myself. What I've learned in the 21 years since then has changed how I see life, time, and what truly matters. And I'm not sharing this to sound wise or impressive. I'm sharing it because my time is limited, and there are things you need to hear before your own time slips away. When I was 52, I experienced what doctors calmly called a cardiac event. That's a polite way of saying my heart nearly ended my life. I was sitting in a routine meeting, talking about numbers that don't matter anymore, when the room began to fade. I woke up later in a hospital bed, machines attached to my body, my wife crying beside me. The doctor said I was lucky. At first, that word felt insulting. I had stared death in the face. How was that luck? But lying there with nothing but my thoughts, I realized something terrifying. Until that moment, I hadn't truly been living. I had been operating on autopilot, doing what was expected, chasing approval, delaying life for later. If my heart had stopped that day, what would I have left behind? A house someone else would live in. Savings someone else would spend. Achievements people would forget within a few years. None of it felt meaningful. Here's the most dangerous lie people tell themselves: I have time. I'll live fully later. I'll slow down later. I'll enjoy life when I reach the next milestone. I hear this from people in their 20s, 30s, even 40s. When I earn more, I'll be happy. When I get promoted, I'll rest. When the kids grow up, I'll travel. When I retire, I'll finally live. Let me save you decades of regret. That moment never arrives. Why? Because the finish line keeps moving. You achieve one goal and immediately chase another. The satisfaction fades almost instantly. Years pass. Then one day you look back and wonder where your life went. I spent 30 years climbing a ladder, only to realize at the top that it was leaning against the wrong wall. And time doesn't let you rewind and start again. Here's a truth no one tells you early enough: success alone is an empty target. I reached everything I aimed for: status, money, recognition. Each win felt incredible for a day or two. Then it disappeared, and I needed another win just to feel normal again. It's an endless loop. A close friend of mine died at 68. He worked non-stop, built a massive business, postponed rest every year. One day he had a stroke. At his funeral, his son said something I'll never forget: My father was successful, but I hardly knew him. That sentence should scare you. Your deepest regrets won't come from failures. They'll come from chances you never took. I don't lose sleep over bad deals or missed promotions. I lose sleep over the trip I postponed, the relationship I neglected, the words I never said, the moments I missed with my children because work felt urgent. You think you have endless time with the people you love. You don't. One day, that time ends, without warning. My father passed away when I was 45. Our relationship was complicated. I always assumed we'd talk things through later, when life slowed down. It never did. He was gone within hours. And my regret isn't the arguments, it's the calls I didn't make and the visits I postponed. After my heart attack, everything changed. I stepped away from what drained me. I stopped saying yes to things that didn't matter. I finally said yes to the life I kept delaying. In these last 2 decades, I've learned more than in all the years before. What truly matters is simple. Meaningful work, real relationships, shared experiences, and being present while you still can. I know this sounds obvious. I used to dismiss it too. Bills still exist. Responsibilities don't vanish, but don't trade your life for things that won't matter in the end. Ask yourself this honestly. If today were your last day, would you be content with how you've lived so far? Not impressed, not admired, content. If the answer is no, then what exactly are you waiting for? Every morning I wake up knowing my time is borrowed. We all live on borrowed time, some just realize it earlier. Youth gives the illusion of forever. That illusion is dangerous. I watch my grandchildren and see the same patterns I once lived: stress, pressure, chasing things that promise happiness but never deliver it. I try to warn them, but experience is something you rarely accept until it's too late. That's why I'm sharing this now. Because maybe someone listening will pause. Someone will choose differently. You are closer to the end than you think. So are the people you love. Your parents won't always be there. Neither will your friends, your partner, your children as they are today. So what will you do? Delay another call, cancel another dream, or finally treat time as the fragile, priceless thing it is? If I could speak to my younger self, I'd say this: stop trying to impress people who won't matter later. Stop destroying your health for approval. Stop postponing happiness. Call the people you love. Take the trip. Say no without guilt. Say yes without fear. Start now. There will never be a perfect moment. Life will always give you reasons to wait. But waiting is how entire lives disappear. I'm 73. I may have 10 years left. Maybe less. And I'm at peace, because I finally lived with intention. I chose presence over pressure, meaning over money, love over delay. The irony is this: when you accept that time is limited, life becomes richer. You have a choice today. Keep waiting, or start living. Don't learn this lesson at 73. Learn it now. Someday isn't coming. Someday is today.
I started saying yes to life instead of postponing it. And in these last 21 years, I've learned what truly matters. It's simpler than you think. Time with people you love. Work that feels meaningful to you. Experiences, not possessions. Presence, not performance. I know, it sounds obvious. I would have ignored this advice too. But I have responsibilities, you'll say? And you do. I'm not saying abandon your life. I'm saying don't sacrifice what matters most for what matters least. Ask yourself this, honestly. If your life ended tomorrow, would you be satisfied with how you've lived so far? Not impressed. Not admired. Satisfied. If the answer is no, what are you waiting for? I'm 73 now. Every morning, I'm aware that my time is borrowed. We all live on borrowed time. Most people just don't realize it yet. I look at my grandchildren and see the same pressure, the same stress, the same chasing I once did. I try to warn them. They rarely listen. Not because they don't care, because they can't see it yet. That's why I'm sharing this with you. Because maybe you'll hear it sooner than I did. Time is not endless. Your parents won't be here forever. Neither will your friends, your spouse, or even you. So what will you do? Keep delaying the call? Postponing the trip? Waiting for someday? Or will you start living today, knowing time is limited? If I could speak to my younger self, I'd say this: stop trying to impress people who don't matter. Stop trading your health for a paycheck. Stop delaying joy. Start calling your parents. Start taking risks that scare you. Start choosing experiences over approval. And most importantly, start now. Because the perfect moment never arrives. Life will always give you reasons to wait. And if you listen to them, you'll wake up one day realizing you waited your life away. I don't have many years left, But these last years have been the richest, not because of money, but because of intention. I live with gratitude now. I say, I love you freely. I travel. I forgive. I'm present. And that's the great irony. When you accept that time is limited, you finally start living. You have a choice today. Keep living on autopilot. Or wake up and live intentionally. Don't wait until you're 73 to understand this. Learn from my mistakes. Someday isn't in the future. Someday is today.